In now via Zoom with Dr. Melanie Schwartz. She is a psychologist, I believe, here in the West Bloomfield area. Dr. Schwartz, can you hear me and are you with us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. I can hear you and I can see you. Thank you very much for joining us
Okay.
here on the MegaCast. I really appreciate it.
Sure, of course.
Well, so tell us a little bit about yourself for people that don't know you. And if you can just we're going to do this live on the radio, just tilt your computer screen down a little bit so we can see you. There you go. That's perfect.
Okay, there you
And you got to speak up real loud because it's a little hard to hear you. But
go. Okay.
so tell us about you, your practice, where you're at right now, just a little background.
Okay. Well, I am a clinical psychologist, and I own Viewpoint Psychology and Wellness. We have two locations as a private practice, one in Commerce Township and one in West Bloomfield off of Orchard Lake and Maple. And our group sees all ages, basically from age 3 to 103. Most of us right now are using teletherapy as opposed to in-person therapy, which is somewhat new for us, but we are adjusting well to it. And we also, in our practice, we have nurse practitioners who can prescribe medications, and we also have a neuropsychologist who does testing for ADHD, learning disabilities, giftedness, things like that.
So, Dr. Schwartz, clearly most of the attention lately has been on the coronavirus and the physical impact that it's having on our bodies and the spread of that and all the danger associated with that. But talk about what's going on in your practice and the challenges that people are having dealing with this entire crisis.
Well, there's a variety of things going on right now. Obviously, anxiety is a huge piece to what's going on, anxiety and stress, because this is unknown, and we are a society that likes predictability, and we don't have any of that right now. And if you watch the news, if you listen to the radio, if you're on Facebook, we're hearing a lot of negative news. We're not hearing a whole lot of positive, which increases people's anxiety. People are not used to being able to go out, or people are used to being able to go out and do the things that they enjoy doing, go to work. All these things that we have kind of taken for granted have been taken away from us momentarily so that we can be safe. So all of that is creating anxiety. Being home with your family for basically 24/7 is new to a lot of us.
You're not
Um,
kidding. That might be the hardest part of the whole thing. I mean, these are the people we love, but we don't normally spend that much time together. You spend,
no.
a week with your spouse, you might be ready to kill each other, and in that period of time, we just naturally need a little space from each other.
We do need space from each other, absolutely. And those of us with children or young children are having a hard time getting that space right now. A lot of people will go to work to get that space, or go out with their friends, or their kids go to school. None of that is happening right now. Also, the whole piece of parents having to homeschool their children, that's creating a lot of anxiety. Um, I'm also starting to deal with some of the depression that's coming from this, such as feelings of hopelessness, because they think this is going to go on forever, that it's always going to be this way, it's not
Mhm.
going to change. They can't see the other side of things right now. So we're seeing a little bit of everything going on, mainly anxiety. That's what's coming out. The kids that I've been working with this week have reported a lot of boredom. um,
Imagine that. Hey, listen, we only got a couple of more minutes. I want to ask you one question, and then can we keep in touch with you and have you on frequently during this crisis?
sure,
Well,
absolutely,
we
absolutely.
appreciate you taking time.
Mhm.
Um, so we know what we need to do to help our bodies physically. We need to get sleep. We need to isolate. We need 6 feet. We need to wash our hands. You have a couple of tips for what we can do to make sure that mentally we are where we want to be, and if people are having a challenge, what's the washing our hands equivalent, if there is one?
Go outside, get some vitamin D. Okay, we're staying inside the house. When this is a perfect day for the kids to go outside and play in the snow. Okay, if you're not around people, it's perfectly okay to do that. Um, Make sure that you are getting time for yourself. Even if you say, I need 5 minutes, lock yourself in your room, in your bedroom for 5 minutes, and ask your spouse, if you have one, to watch the kids. Um, Something that we're suggesting is kind of keeping a routine, a schedule, to kind of decrease the anxiety, so that the kids know how to predict what's coming next, because they don't as well. We don't need to keep the kids occupied at all times, but kind of keep them on a schedule, as well as meditating, if you can do that, or mindfulness, taking a few minutes to just kind of sit there with yourself, do some deep breathing. These are the things that are going to help us right now and get us through this. Okay. And self-care, whatever that looks like, it's different for everybody. But if it's just sitting down and binge watching TV, then that's your self-care.
Yeah, I did.
It's,
I watched a couple of great movies on my Apple TV yesterday, and that was I knew I couldn't go to the theater, but that was great. It worked for me. So you got to do whatever you can do. Hey, can I ask you a favor? Could you make one more prescription to your patients that I think might be helpful? Now, this is going to be a little self-serving, but I would recommend that they all tune in to the MegaCast. So they, you're cracking up. I love it. But why not? It just, can stay connected, get involved, see other people are going through the same thing that they're going through. Maybe, we can't connect directly, but whether you connect through the MegaCast or, families that you can't be with connect through Zoom or some other tools, that's got to be helpful too.
Yes, it is. And people are doing that, in fact, more so than ever, I think, through Zoom or through FaceTime or whatever other platform they're choosing to use. So that's great. And that's important. And also be talking about how you're feeling. That's also very important right now.
All right. Well, I'm feeling very fortunate to have you on our broadcast. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking time. She is Dr. Melanie Schwartz. And if you don't mind, we'll keep in touch with you.
Sounds great.
All right. Dr. Melanie Schwartz joining us right now on the MegaCast. We're going to shift gears and head over